Okay, good morning, everyone. So, firstly, an apology for not being able to hold a live session yesterday, mainly because I was busy with some personal stuff. However, the thing is, there isn't really much to discuss yesterday. Also, I will explain the reason in a moment, but. Across the market, US, Singapore, and Hong Kong, it seems that there is some weakness that is coming up. So because of this, there isn't a lot of counters showing up on all three scanners. Hence, there isn't really much to go through. But let's just go through some of the usual stuff. So for Singapore fund flow, as you notice, we have been the institutional is back to negative. So tomorrow, when the new fund flow data come out for this week, I believe it should continue to stay negative, and we are going into a short correction mode. Okay, so in terms of Singapore market, I will remain if you are not if you are not in the market yet, refrain from making any new entries. In fact, the Singapore scanner don't really have anything that is of potential to buy. But of course, if you are already in the position for all your previous trade, then there is no reason to prematurely exit. You just stick to your plan. You just stick to whatever plan that you have when you make the trade or the stop loss level. You don't need to prematurely exit. Just keep them, but do refrain from entering any new position. This is mainly because I believe this situation is due to the incoming Chinese New Year, and mainly a lot of players and funds and the smart money, they don't really want to hold a lot of position towards the holidays. So what they do is they clear most of their position, hence you start to see a bit of rate. So not only the smart money are clearing, perhaps even the retailer are clearing, because during the Chinese New Year period, excuse me, market will be relatively dry. So this is nothing new. So let's take a look at uh, the STI setup. So you can see that SDI, if you look at it on a somewhat middle trend, it is still in a so-called a bullish trend. It is just going a slight I would say a retracement. So there is a support around 2800. So anything from this resistance 3000 to 2800, right? Any movement within this period, I do not regard this retracement as bearish. You should not short. You should not suddenly um like exit all your position, or that kind of exaggerated action. And in fact, if that if this drop here really scares you to the point that you are losing a lot, you cannot trade anymore, you cannot sleep because all your position are very red, then you do need to reconsider how much position that you are taking every time, how much risk that you are taking every time, because this is definitely still in an uptrend mode. Unless the price drop below 2700 around this level, then I would say that okay, now things are bearish because we have broke through the support here. But currently, as it is right now, we are still in a very clear uptrend, just a short rest. So for example, if you look at this area here, how much was the drop from the top to bottom? The drop was actually 4.14%. And in this case, the drop is, sorry, in this case, the drop is 4.22%. So is you can, if you compare this drop and this drop, right, they are of very similar magnitude. So if you cannot handle this drop, you probably have missed this rally. And if you can't handle this drop, then you're probably going to miss another rally. But of course, you do need to get out when price go further below the support lah. But the point that I'm trying to make is, even in an uptrend, if you could not handle this, you will miss this. If you could not handle this, you will miss this. So you do need to take a look back at how your lot sizing position and your risk to see whether if you are over trading or not. If let's say this drop scares you, but if currently all the counters are retracing for a while and you feel that man, it's all right. Like I mean, I'm seeing a bit of red in my open position, but it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly normal. That is what I am facing right now. Everything is red, but it's perfectly normal. I just hold on, just follow my trade plan. Then you are good. Then you are definitely in the correct level of trading volume. So the main thing that I want to point out is that if we look at the Hong Kong screener, here we have the Hong Kong screener, there's only four counters show up compared to the usual 30 for 30, 20 counters. So if I look at each of the counters, right, none of them really have a very good trade setup. This one, no, this one definitely not a good chart to trade. This one also, no, not really a good chart to trade. This one, I think this chart is also bad. So you can see that all four counters for Hong Kong is quite bad. So let's take a look at US counter. So if you look at US, it is quite bad also in the sense that there's only 9 matches. Usually for US, we have 30, 40 matches. There's a lot of matches, but today there's only 9 matches. And you notice most of the 9 matches are pharmaceutical, biotech. So mainly all the biotech, and we have of course a bit of commodity in a precious metal here, semicon, and yeah. So the scanner is mainly populated by the pharmaceutical and the biotech lah. So we only have nine matches here, and even for this, the 9 matches doesn't really stands out. So if you look at Novavax, right, this one definitely bullish, but we already have one trade set up for a vaccine company, a biotechnology vaccine company, and that is Vaxart. So Vaxart, the trade setup came in somewhere here. So if you have caught there, right, you probably have caught this. So this is the only good counter that we actually have for US right now that we are in position. Aside from this, I will go for Vaxart rather than the Novavax. And if you look at Virtu Financial, maybe if you want to trade this, maybe, but I personally will not take this trade at all. The candles are not very bullish towards the end here. Western Digital, okay, gap up but close down, so not really. If you want, you can still go ahead, but I probably won't. And this is Hostess brand. It's a food specialty candy counter. So okay, this does look very bullish. It broke through resistance, but because of the candle closing in the middle, right, I probably won't take that trade. Also, normally I like to take trade that candle closes very high rather than somewhere in the middle. And this one is a precious metal, not a very nice candle. Endo International, pharmaceutical, also not a very nice candle. Skywork, not a very nice candle also. And NetNet, not really outstanding also, all the candles. So you can see that actually from these nine matches that the US scanner give, right, it seems like the first two, the Novavax and Vaxart, are the only good candidate for trading. And since we already have Vaxart previously, right, then there's really nothing to look at from the US side. Hence, also given that generally the other two market, Hong Kong and Singapore, seems to be weak also. So I will suggest that if you're already holding quite a number of position, try not to go into any more position already. And of course, let's not forget our Singapore market, our Singapore scanner. Okay, so for Singapore scanner, there's only 4 matches. One is the leader environment. So leader environment very bullish recently. So right now it is consolidating here. So during this consolidation, right, actually, if you want, you can actually buy the breakout here. But as it is right now, right, I don't think it is a good time, a good moment to go in, because if you go in during, if you went in during a sideway, most likely is that you are going to caught in the sideway. So not a good time to go in. iFast. So definitely iFast has a big run, and actually during this portion here, during this part here, the scanner actually shows iFast at this candle and this candle, but because it was very near the resistor, right, I decided not to take the trade, but obviously I was wrong and it goes up even higher lah. So sometimes a scanner will show certain counters that uh, I personally won't take the trade, but sometimes they just perform way better lah. So do your own due diligence when you are looking at the scanner. Sometimes you could have caught something that I didn't caught, and it will perform way better. Next is MSC. So iFast, I probably give it a miss, given that uh, it has rallied so much. And actually, Friday candle, right? Actually, among all the counters that I've seen in the scanner, including US and Hong Kong counters, right? iFast seems like the most bullish of them all. It has the most the most good trade setup that I've seen. You can just set your stop loss here and then continue to ride the trend, because it does retrace. Unless you have a very big come down, then you definitely take the loss lah. But I feel that in terms of bullishness and momentum, right, iFast actually has one of the best chart out there. You can consider it, but personally for me, I'm not looking to make any new trades. MSC is a metal fabrication, so this counter is actually looking quite okay also. There's a sudden momentum coming in, very nice, good candle, bullish candle with very good volume coming in also. So you can actually take this trade, but if you take this trade, right, the stop loss will be quite wide. Of course, if you enter here, the stop loss will probably be around 0.445 like that, which is if you talk about the distance, right, it's actually quite wide, going 30% like that. 30% wide stop loss lah. So whether you want to take this trade not is up to you, but do take note of the stop loss. This chart is also relatively bullish and quite good, along with iFast. Next is Thai beverage. So Thai beverage have been bullish for quite some time already, but because the volume are generally flat and the movement is not excessive, right, it tends to escape the scanner lah. Because the scanner is actually it does look at the momentum in general also. So I believe during this period, it does come out on scanner on this period, but because the candle was like this, I decide not to go for the trade. In fact, that was, I believe, a good decision, because if you did went for the trade, right, what you're gonna end up is you're gonna end up stuck in this counter for about 3 months before it start to move. And even if it start to move, is the movement is not a very aggressive movement, it's like slowly go up. So during this period, there were a lot of other things that were running, and which we managed to catch lah. So I would say, even though we didn't catch this part here, I believe it was the right decision, mainly because of how the sideway movement is going. So yeah, so actually that's basically about it. To summarize, right, there are still a few counters that are good to enter, but you might want to be very cautious. Don't enter too much. And going forward, the Chinese New Year period, I will be sending out slightly lesser trade setup, mainly due to both the Chinese New Year and both the condition of the market. So during this period, you will not be receiving as much trade setup as often. So try not to think of it as, yeah, I pay the subscription fee, but I'm not receiving anything. Sometimes when the market is bad or not in a good condition of trading, the best decision is to stay out. And you subscribing to the Patreon, you now know that this period is a good decision to stay out. if you had not subscribed, you might be blindly trading here and then end up losing a lot of money. So try to think of it from a different perspective. I mean, if anyway you feel that there isn't anything going on February, you're paying for nothing and you wish to leave, I mean, I can't stop you, but do know that the reason why there will be lesser trade setup is because the market condition is not really that optimal right now already, and it is better to save up your cash, save up your ammo, so that once the market U-turn and start to run again, right, we can go in with much more cash lah, rather than you lose a lot of money during this period, and when market start to turn up, right, you don't have any more cash ready. Okay, so have a good weekend, and try to be more cautious in your trading, and most importantly, enjoy the upcoming Chinese New Year, and stay healthy. Thanks everyone.